The reason I am so committed to working for better end-of-life care is that I've seen that it can work.
It does work sometimes. When my husband's mother died, she had a massive stroke and she actually took 2 months to die.
My son was in hospital, and the first really good thing was there was a conference of the nurses, the consultant, him, myself, my wife and a Macmillan nurse, and the first question was they asked him, what do you want?
They moved my mother-in-law into a side room, and one of the nurses very kindly put some flowers beside her bed.
What he wanted was to go back to his own flat.
And she'd remembered that my mother-in-law had gone on about, oh, I do love the smell of fresh flowers.
The Macmillan nurse said, I'll see if I can make it possible. She arranged all the things he needed, oxygen, wheelchair and so on, and he was back in his own flat.
And this particular nurse every day made sure that the flowers were still fresh, the water didn't stay stagnant.
He only lived 6 hours, but he died happy.
And one of the things she used to make sure that whoever was there would have a meal.
And I suppose that's a message I really want to get across. It's not the big things that matter so much, it's the very small things that are very ordinary.
Just tiny things, you know, like if you know somebody's reaching the end of life, then obviously the family are going to be distressed. And so kind words are much nicer.
But it's that understanding, those little important things.
And she would say, do you know, you'd never forgive me if I didn't make sure your son and daughters had something to eat while they're sat here.
The first person who was asked was Neil, and the first question he was asked was, what do you want? And that, to my mind, is just the fundamental, the basics. If you start from that premise, you can build up to good end-of-life care.
The other thing, she would talk to my mother-in-law and hold a conversation.
And if we, and I'm going to be selfish here and say, if we, as the relatives, had been left with the knowledge that he died in hospital, which he hated, aggrieved, angry, resentful, we would have a load to bear which is even greater than what we have.
I always remember my husband saying they actually felt that although she was vegetative, she was actually talking to them. So they had a fantastic final journey with her.
So this is why I'm really fighting, because I know it can be done if there's the sensitivity to say, this is what we should do, forget the rules, let's make it happen.